Today I'm going to decorate this box. I'm going to use fabric to decorate the box, so I have cut a piece that goes all the way around, and I'm not worrying about the bottom, and also a piece that fits over the top. I'm going to stick the fabric to this box using an all-purpose adhesive. Okay, just line it up. I've got a little seam here, a finished edge on this fabric, which is very useful. Don't worry if you don't have that though, because we will be covering up the top part. Putting some glue over that bit there because I'm going to overlap the fabric when I come round from the other side. If you're going to do this kind of box, I've left this little rim here. I'm not covering that with fabric because the lid fits on top of that part. So we don't want to put the fabric on there. And now the final part, I'm actually going to cut that a little bit. I don't need that much. Okay, I'm going to stick this on top of the overlap bit, like that. Make sure it's well and truly stuck down. And now I'm going to go all over the fabric, and I'm going to add some water into my glue just to help it move easier. So going all over it, and that will dry nice and hard and it will be clear. We won't see the glue when it's dry. So now I'm going to leave that to dry. So I have done the same thing to the lid, and this is almost dry. So I want to show you how I address the corners because they're rounded, they're a little bit difficult. So when you put the glue on, pinch the corners so that you get like little ears sticking out like that. And when it's almost dry and the fabric is quite stiff, take some glue and just apply some to that part there, and then just fold those corners in onto the sides. Pinch them in place, keep coming back and giving them a pinch. These are dry now and they're flat, and that's how we want it to look. And then leave that to dry too. The lid is dry now, so taking a craft knife, I am just going to cut away the excess fabric. It's easy to do because it's very stiff with the glue, so it cuts very easily. Okay, and then when the bottom is dry, I will do the same. And then I've cut a piece of fabric to go over the bottom, just so that it looks all neat. And so spreading the glue on over the top, I'm going to go over this piece of fabric that's already on there. And again, go over the top so it's all sealed. When the box is dry, I use these sticky backed silver pearls and just put them all around the top like that. So that will cover any rough edge of fabric that you might have. I also got some little wooden beads and painted them silver. So here's my finished box. Put a little wooden bead on the top too to finish it off. Nice little storage box, and chocolates too. Win-win. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I have inspired you to have a go. I'm Julie McDowell. I'll see you next time. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is paint the outside of the box, and what I like to use is these kitchen scrubbies that I cut up and use the sponge side. So they're very cheap to buy. And in here I have got some acrylic paint. This is artist acrylic paint. This is a colour called Payne's Grey. It's a bluey black colour. You can use any craft paint that you like. Before I start, I have actually just washed this in very, very hot soapy water to get rid of any grease. So just loading the paint on my sponge, I'm now going to dab it all over. We won't actually see this from the outside when we're finished, but we will see this from the inside. That's why I'm painting it first, but we will be covering this up. So I will do the whole box and then I will leave that to dry. This is dry now, and you can see from the inside, I can just see the black. So now we're ready for the next part. And the next thing we're going to use is some aluminum foil or tin foil. And so I have measured a piece bigger than my box bottom. And what we're going to do first is I'm going to scrunch it up, but it's better to do it in sections. I did try doing it, making a ball, but when you open it up, it rips. So you have to be quite careful doing this, but we want lots of creases in it. So put that to one side. Now I'm going to cover the box with glue, and I'm using Elmer's glue. It's just regular glue. This is a clear one. You can use the white one if that's what you have. So I'm going to spread this all over the bottom and the sides. And I'm going to use my hands to do it, hence the gloves. Okay, it spreads quite easily. And now we take our piece of tin foil, aluminum foil, that we've already scrunched up, and we're going to press it all over the box. And first of all, I'm going to address the sides, because obviously we've got more foil than we actually need. So making a fold there, scrunching it together, and then I'm going to just cut that piece off. Cut any excess off that you don't need. So now we're just going to press the foil into the glue, and you can just squeeze the sides together on the corners. Okay, we'll deal with any excess when that's all stuck down. And I would also do the same with the lid. Okay, it's a couple of hours later now, and although it won't be completely dry under there because obviously no air can get to it, it will eventually dry down after a couple of days. But it's firm enough now that I can carry on now and paint.